I am muted but undisputed. Hello. Hi, Jacqueline. Girl, let me tell you. The way look, you see my little first off, okay, so Mastermind can't be with us today, which is okay because sometimes we have shit to do. And when we have shit to do, we take care of each other. So I put on my little night because I'm tired. But I thought it would. I can't hear myself.
I think
You can hear me, but I can't hear myself. Okay,
it's
so
the headphones.
it's my headphones. Well, fuck it, I'm doing it live. So, what I thought would be best to do today, before I thought it would be best because we're getting closer and closer to the Democratic elections. I shouldn't say Democratic. I should say the Republic elections.
No, what they usually like to call this a banana republic.
The Banana Republic elections.
It's not what it's supposed to be at all.
So I thought it would be really good for us to watch an interview with the presidential candidate of the Green Party. If y'all haven't seen it yet, just to see what y'all think about it. Maybe I should take this off. It kind of looks funny. There we go. But I kind of want to snooze. But I thought it would be good to go through that because we really need to start making some decisions. So, hi, Kill Your Egregores. Let's just say hey to everybody in the chat. Jacqueline, so far. They're going to start trickling in. Michael, my co-host of Noteworthy, my friend, my comrade, my guy. And then let's just see what we think about it, because we have to start making some decisions. Because everybody knows I'm kind of into Jasmine Sherman, but she's on ballots like cross ballots, like Working Party, Unicorn Party, some Green Party. It's just she has a platform, but she's across a lot of parties, and so I have to consider that, and I also have to consider the fact that the Green Party's been around for a long, 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 long time, and but I also have to consider the fact that I don't trust Jill Stein that much, but that's just me. Um, but I do really like her vice presidential pick. So let's get into that. But before we get into it, I wanted us to send out positive vibes for all those who are going through it in Tennessee, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina. I mean, like the our infrastructure is bad. Houses have just moved and dilapidated into the water. Uh, Highways have collapsed. I mean, all kind of stuff. Hey, Woofy. Hi, Robert Burns. So I think it's best to say that first and just ask everybody to think about these people and what they're going through. Because it could be us, right? Black Life. It could be us in Louisiana. if it had only not turned to the east and went up, because it was actually three hurricanes back to back to back. So that's really unfortunate. Oh, Nahilo is live on Midwestern Marks. Oh, well, bless up to my co-host. I'm sure he's doing good work over there, and he came in to say hi anyway, so we appreciate him. Um, so here we go. We are going to watch this interview with the vice president, the presidential candidate, and see what he has to say. And I would love to hear if you guys want to hear more from him. You know what? Before I do that, I am going to provide the link to the YouTube, just in case anybody wants to come in and speak their piece, speak their mind. I think that would be good. So give me a second and allow me to do that. And while I'm doing that, Black Life T, would you like to say something?
I just like I would like to say thank you guys for your patience on my podcast growth journey. Thank you for your continued support because you guys continue to come back. I really appreciate it. And yeah, there's a lot of great news occurring right now. There's a lot of scary things that we may have to break down and help people understand some stuff. I just got this emergency text from my family um, cautioning us to stock up on all our personals, medicines, and it's a lot of fear going on.
It's a lot of fear
And
happening
just,
right now.
I hope we get to address some of it. And I also want to echo your thoughts and prayers to the people who are in the path of those hurricanes and tornadoes and rivers and dams. I seen a lot of stuff today that made me very terrified. That if I lived there, oh my God. Have you seen some of the videos?
Yes.
I seen houses.
I saved them for today.
Oh, yeah.
So I have some if we need to show some for if people haven't
if you guys
seen
in
them.
chats, yeah, haven't heard about the hurricane, the destruction, and like Abby Do said, the what did you say about the roads and the
Oh,
bridges?
they're like highways and bridges that have been completely decimated. Like
Yeah,
they're no more. So
but the dams, it's like I seen a video today that made me so scared, and I want to live there.
hmm.
But it was like these dams are going to break, are going to malfunction. It's nothing you could do at this point, but it's going to do that. So what's going to happen to all the people? You mean to tell me it's going to be like 9/11, where we just have to watch people just die?
Well, the thing of it is, Black Life is Tasmit Black Life is that it really bothers me that these things keep happening over and over again in our own country, and there's no money for them, but we have money for everybody else. It is strange. It doesn't make sense. Like you have the math is not mathing, and you have to like. I, I took calculus in high school, so you got to help me. You got to help me with this math.
That's not
Hi,
real.
Desert Mantis. It
It's not real
says
life,
climate
man.
change will bring more intense storms. So a lot of people are talking about that. And also what really bothered me was how people were in comment sections on social media when people were like showing the devastation um, in their homes, how their homes were just being bombarded by water. Not in Florida, but in like North Carolina, all the way up in North Carolina, and they're just like, you should have known better. They told you to get out. They did not tell the they did not tell people in North Carolina to get out of their homes. Florida maybe, but not all the way up to West Virginia and North Carolina, because it wasn't understood that the storms were going to be so intense all the way up to the East Coast. Like people assume the storms when a storm hits landfall, it automatically starts losing power. Okay, so there was an assumption by the time the storms hit all the way up to North Carolina, South Carolina, West Virginia, what have you, it would be like a category one. It'd just be water, um, and not intense water, just heavy rains. Oh, it's not like that. I didn't even know it was going to hit Tennessee like that. Tennessee is not even. It's
You know what?
unbelievable, unfathomable. Is fathom? Did I say the word right? Unfathomable. I
You
gotta
know
look
what?
that word
Really,
up.
I heard a lot of people on TikTok compare this storm to Katrina, because technically
They
it
did.
wasn't Katrina. It was like the aftermath of Katrina that did a lot of damage.
Right, right, right. Um, so yeah, I don't know what else to say, but keep these people in your thoughts because the insurance companies are going to. This is
Abandoning them.
abandon them. This is their game. They have a middleman in between the what they call them, the underwriter. So that's my mama. You hear?
Hmm.
Okay. So the underwriter is going to do all the dirt and have the middleman say, "Well, the underwriter, I can't do anything. The underwriter said that this is what it is." So you can't be mad at the middleman because the middleman didn't have the power, but the middleman is like a cushion or what's the right word I'm looking for? Like a buffer. Buffer is a better word. A buffer between the underwriter. It's the same thing they did when they colonized this country, right? They had the uh, the pilgrims that they brought here on purpose, that they put in between the natives. Uh, no, I'm sorry. It was the pilgrims, and then in between them were all the prisoners and fucking hustlers and bad uh, bad people that they took out of the prisons. They put them in between the pilgrims and the natives. It's the same concept, and we keep falling for it. So, should we look at the chat before we start this?
Okay, I have something to say.
Okay, I'm gonna go on mute and see if my mom needs anything. Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to
Okay.
ask, has it,
Oh wait. Oh wait.
I,
Wait. Oh wait. Wait. I'm
mhm.
sorry. I can't go on mute because
Also you?
that will make you on mute. So
No,
I'm
I
just
can.
gonna
You can unmute me.
no. I'm just leaving.
I mean,
Hello?
No, I muted my unmute me.
You have to unmute me because
No,
it
this is
doesn't
my.
sound the same. Just go. Just go.
Okay. Um, I'm just asking. You see how I entered number 2 in the chat? I was just wondering. I was wondering if you ever entered a message that was light, like lighthearted, and somehow YouTube said, "Nah, we're not gonna let you post that." And so I entered the number 2 just to make sure. It was weird. It was pretty weird. Like what? What's the censoring? I said, "Why are they never there when you need them?" I mean, when Abby Dude was referring to insurance was going to go crazy. It's like they were listening to what we're talking about, and they didn't want me to say, why are they never there when you need them? I just don't get that. It's like, why you have to go through hoops in the time of crisis. So, yeah, that's what I was trying to ask you guys if you ever experienced that. Desert Mantis, you said all insurance rates will increase. Mm, that's absolutely correct. I mean, you could sneeze. You could have a flat three three flat tires in a row and use your roadside assistance. Your insurance will go up. You could call them for information on stuff. Your insurance will go up. They find creative ways to go up on just in case money. That's just my opinion.
Hi, bad cookies. So I just walked in. So are you talking about how like the insurance was extremely low, and then when something happened to the custom rims on the truck, and we had to get new custom rims, and
I'm just
then the
saying.
insurance went up, and
Mhm.
I said, what the fuck? Well, what? Why have I been paying insurance? It seems like you just like the insurance went up double or something. And I'm like, well, I could have just bought these goddamn rims by myself and not
Yeah.
made a claim because it
But
looks
what would be
like
the
you jumped the insurance up to pay for the goddamn claim.
but what would be the point of having insurance if you can't use it when you need it? I just don't get it. Like why are you penalized for using it when you need it? I I'm gonna turn this mic down. So.
Just bring it closer to me.
It's very loud on me.
I
I'm
know, bring
working
it
on.
closer to me
I know, but I'm working on
because my
keeping.
voice is soft.
Yours is soft.
And you just stay over there with your loud ass voice.
Watch me whisper.
Bad Cookie says insurance is a scam anyway. You pay until
Exactly.
you need it, and when you need it, you better not have anything expensive because they won't cover. Period. Thank
Can
you,
I
Bad
ask a
Cookie.
question? Now listen. I just tried
That's
to
what they
enter
did to
that,
us.
and they blocked me from entering that. Bad Cookies just posted that shit straight up, and he was, and then after you read it, like, blah. So what's up?
It's true.
What's
But
wrong
what's
with me?
up? What's up? So should we get into this?
Because it's a joint extortion scam. Like America, right? You gotta know a game to be in the loop.
Yeah. So should we get into what I was thinking about getting into?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me present. Oop, not there. That's us. Nope. So.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm. He a fan. He a fan. He a
Fire
fan.
sector. Read that right quick.
Oh, the fire sector is the downfall. Fire is an acronym. It equals
Mm-hmm.
finance, insurance, real estate. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would add fire would also equal food at this point. That's just my humble opinion. Michael's back. Guess who's
Mm-hmm.
back? Bet the insurance companies, Jacqueline, will find ways not to pay out after this hurricane. Probably call it an act of God or something. So that's a very interesting thing that you say because
Observation.
after Katrina, they they got out of paying people by saying the hurricane. Uh, no, it was a flood. The hurricane caused the flood, so you didn't have flood insurance. It They did this in Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge had a major flood as well, and they did the same thing. And I'm sure they're going to do it to all these people because insurance companies, their purpose is to not give you the resources you're supposed to have.
How else do they
That's their
make money?
purpose. Yeah, and flood insurance. I've experienced this personally because I try. You have to get it through FEMA. You can't get it through your normal insurance company. It has to go through FEMA. It's extremely expensive, like
Rick.
extremely. And this is why people say you don't. No American owns anything in this country because after you even finish paying off your house, you still have to pay property taxes every year. So,
Look what Kai said.
Kilia Egregor says my medical insurance denied a heart test my doctor recommended for me. Insurance excuse? We don't feel that the procedure is necessary. So they're the doctors? Exact
Come with it.
perfectly. Said it perfectly. Who are the experts? Is it the middleman or the actual doctors? It does sound illegal. It sounds very illegal. It sounds criminal, actually. I mean, I just took my mom. I don't even want to talk about it because I always take my mom to the doctor because I want to make sure, like the information, I can write it down and have you have not whatever. But she needs cataract surgery. Now, mind you, my mom is not just on Medicaid. It's Cade, right? When you're 65 over, yeah, it's Medicaid. It's Medicare when you're poor. It's Medicaid when you're 65 or over. But she also has private health care insurance. Now, with Medicaid and private health care insurance, they want to charge her 10,000. They told her she had to get all her teeth pulled out to get dentures. They told us it was going to be $10,000 out of our pockets. Then she has to have cataract surgery. They told us it would be $4,000 out of our pockets. Why are you here? What is your purpose? Pay your fare. Yeah, okay, so that's why we need to stop. You have it rehearsed. I don't know what that means. That I have it
Reversed.
Oh, reversed. I thought it said rehearse. My
She,
eyes
he's,
are.
he said you had the words mixed up.
Yeah. Oh, okay, okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Desimandus. Like when you've been you don't I just became a caregiver a couple of years ago, so uh I'm learning so much, and I feel like a fish out of water because I've always been on private health care. So when I had to like start dealing with that, Bad Cookie says it's a scam. Yes, yes, it is. They have mastered the scam with the ACA, where you have access to healthcare. Access. The ACA made sure that the government forces everyone to pay into the private healthcare system that covers nothing but checkups. Yes, that's absolutely correct. And also, bad cookies. They have that Medicare Part. I don't know what they call it. They do all these commercials about Medicare Part D, Part C. I don't know. But what a lot of elderly people do not know is that is private healthcare insurance, and they have been allowed to name it Medicare Part blah 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 and blah blah blah. I don't know the parts. I forget. But that's really private healthcare insurance that they are trying to get you to pay into, so they could do the same shit that they doing to us, to our elderly. It is criminal. That is really not what we're supposed to be talking about today. Uh, yes, Black Life wordplay is a bitch in the government. Murder. I think it's Medicare Part C and D. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, but anyway, uh, can we? Medicare Part D is private insurance that you pay for more medical coverage. Yes, but it's not just Part D. It's another alphabet. I think it's C and D or B and D. It's two of them. From what I have learned in my rabbit hole as a caregiver, and my mom always comes to me because I always call her and scare her about getting this extra coverage, and she'll wake me up at 8 in the morning to answer some call about some scammer trying to get her to buy into Medicare. I think it's B and D. C and D, I don't know. One of them damn alphabets. I definitely know it's D. All right, Mama. What'd she say?
You go ahead.
What'd she say?
I'm back.
She back already. I don't. Should I go check on her? Okay. Um. Yeah, scamming old people is the oldest scam on earth. Yes, and it's really fucked up. Hi, Sean. Glad to see you're here. We love y'all. Michael, I didn't know you was a cook. You better not be putting together some sausage and eggs and grits. No, and rice.
Wait a minute. When I seen this, you remember you read that?
Yeah.
This is what I want y'all to know. I'm not being scammed. I'm just not.
Well, the thing is, the older you get and the more you are can't keep up with technology and all that stuff, the easier it is to scam these people. Like fishing, and my mom would come to me with a, thank goodness she still comes to me. Well, it doesn't even matter, because the only reason she comes to me is because I took control of her finances. So she has to come to me. But if she didn't, she would press on every email, every text, offering her 75% off this, or you're about to go to jail if you don't pay this, or all kind of stuff they send her. It's just really fucked up. And I don't like that. I need to get to this article. I mean, this video. But before I do, I just want to show y'all this real quick. Let's see if you can see it. Okay. I went to the gas station to put gas in my mother's vehicle for her. Okay. This was on the screen. Somebody had to put $1.80 in their car. Something is wrong. You got to put a dollar. Let me show it to you again. $1.80 in your car, cause that's your last $2. Something not right with that. It's not looking good for us, and we're going to have to do something about this. Yeah, the $1.80 amounted to like 0.5 gallons of gas. I think they was just trying to get home. Maybe. I don't know. It's bad out here. Yeah. Yeah, Sean. Something not right about this. All right. Yep. Are you? What? All right. So I'm gonna get to this interview because we have to start making some decisions about who we're gonna vote for, and I don't know if everybody's seen this. What? Why you? What? What? The fuck are you doing? Why you? Okay, Tosh Minute is tapping me and then doing this. What does that mean? I'm not fucking with you, girl. I'm not fucking with you. All right, so here we go. This girl is crazy. Okay, Black Life says, no, bad cookies. You know that will probably be the most logical of all situations. Something will, with a gas canister to fill up a lawnmower. You right? Oh.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay. To fill up a gas.
But around here, you just don't know.
Around here, no.
You don't know.
Around here,
that's what you would hope.
Onions getting peeled. Around here, get your onion peeled. It's not good around here. It's not good. You would think that, but I am not so sure these days because even a gas canister is 5 gallons. Ain't a gas canister 5 gallons?
Yeah, and it costs $20 to buy a gas can.
And also, if you filling up a lawnmower, you're not supposed to be filling that up with regular gas. You're supposed to get that what's that green, the gas
it's
with the green?
True something. I don't know. I don't know the name of it, but it's specialized gas.
It's specialized gas that you're supposed to put.
That's what the can says.
You're supposed to put specialized gas in your lawnmower, your weed eater, and your edger. You're not supposed to be putting regular 87 gas in there. So no.
Can I play Mastermind right now?
Yeah.
But I want to know this. How do we know that the gas that's in that can that's labeled true gas, so and so percent, and blah, 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 lawn gas, how do we know that's truly that? It's not like we can go at home and test that shit. You want to know why I'm saying that? Because milk, other products in the grocery store can say some shit on the container. but it's not what it is inside. I'm just saying. Sounds like a tin rabbit type thing. I love that laugh, man.
Mastermind couldn't be here today, Robbie.
Man, that's my G. I'm
Mastermind,
trying to hold it down for
wait,
him.
Mastermind couldn't be here today. I already did that. I'm sorry. I'm doing I'm doing your job. My bad. I'm doing your job.
Someone got a question?
Yeah. So, Sean said regular gas. No, nope. Regular gas for a mower. No, not regular gas for a mower. That'll mess your lawnmower up.
Sean, Abby has been bamboozled by a lot of people here in the booth.
No, not regular gas for a mower.
Okay.
Even my brother told me that. Don't put regular gas in your mower. Your mower.
Deshaun.
All right.
Deshaun. Okay. I digress.
We mow our own lawns over here.
They had a question. I mean, Mastermind is not ill or hurt.
You late. I already posted that.
But I'm just saying, someone said, I hope Mastermind's all right. He is, right?
Mastermind's fine. He's fine. He's just spending time with his family. That's all.
Sean is agreeing with you.
Oh, I thought, wasn't he the one that said, don't put regular gas in the mower? No, I got confused. All right. So anyway, let's get on with the getting on. Mastermind's fine, Jacqueline. No, if he wasn't, we'd tell you. He's fine. He's just hanging out with his family today. You know, he's a caregiver too, so sometimes it just doesn't work out. And he's a father. So sometimes he just has to bow out gracefully. And that's okay.
I think it's this. I really do.
He's a superhero doing superhero shit. That's what he's doing.
I think so.
With that mastermind laugh. All right, so can we start? Because Lord have mercy. We got a lot to go through. Lord have mercy. We have a lot to get through. Have you guys... Oh, man, Barker's here. Hi. Have you guys seen this interview with Butch Ware? I mean, he's been all over the place. So, I mean, he's really been working hard doing this goddamn thing. So we're going to do this one interview with Mark Lamont. If you guys aren't familiar with him, Mark Lamont used to be on, it was either MSNBC or CNN or something.
He's been everywhere.
He's been a commentator all over the place. And they canceled him because of his view on Palestine. They was like, you got to get out of here. Nigga, you got to go. So he started his own podcast. So we are going to listen to him interview this person. I did put a pin in the chat. So if anybody wants to come on and have an opinion about anything that's being said, you're more than welcome. Please come. Come on up in here. Sean said regular gas from... That's not what I was told, Sean. By multiple men in my world, they tell me do not put regular gas in lawnmowers. Put the specialized gas that you have to buy, and that's what you also put in the weed whackers and the edgers. Now that's what I've been told. Maybe you have a different opinion where you live, but that's what I've been told, and so that's what I do. And although I have put regular gas in it and it worked just fine. But anyway, here we go. We changing the subject. Sean, ain't nothing but ultra perm.
Uh-oh.
It's all good. Ain't nothing but ultra perm. Sean don't know that because he black. He know what we saying. Ain't nothing but ultra perm. Ain't nothing but ultra perm, baby. All right, so we're about to start. Press play and jump into it and see what it do. Shall I read that one? This is how we have always done it, but as long as that motherfucker cut, I don't give a fuck.
That sound like a answer my mom would have given.
That's how I was feeling. I was like, well, shit, we've been cutting this motherfucker all this time. Why are you telling me now?
I hear your voice strain, man. I gotta start. You know, you doing a lot of talking, man. You on a campaign trail, y'all hustling. What's the latest and the greatest?
I mean, the latest and the greatest. I guess I say 20 cities in 22 days. My team, so I'm here in Cali. My team on the West Coast starts with Fajr prayer. We got a lot of Muslims on the team. So Fajr prayer on the East Coast is 6 a.m. I'm up at 3, texting and exchanging messages with my folk on the East Coast. The last of my team is based in Hawaii. And so usually, when around 9 p.m., he calls it, quits and attends the family. They go through their nighttime routine. So that's midnight for me. And in between, it's an hour for a workout, an hour for lunch, 2 hours, for dinner and spend time with my wife and kids. And other than that, man, brothers pull in, 21-hour days.
What makes somebody who has an academic career,
Mm-hmm.
you're a tenured professor?
Yes, sir.
You don't need job security. You don't need any of that stuff, right? You definitely don't need more things to do. I always joke as a professor, you get to pick which 23 hours of the day you work. You know what I'm saying? Why take on something like a run for the presidency?
I mean, it's even worse than you depict in this respect. I mean, so my first job was at Northwestern University. I was a 30-year-old assistant professor, wrote a grant proposal to the Ford Foundation that ended up getting $1.1 million. So I've been managing multi-million-dollar grants, top half of 1% of my field. So 4 years at Northwestern, 10 years at Michigan, 6 years now at UCSB. Relatively low teaching demand, tenured professor, people in the field know my work, people in the community know my community education, my teaching, my activism. And so, yeah, it required me pushing a lot of chips into the middle of the table to take this on. The reason why I took it on, and I'll be blunt about this, is that as a person of faith, I actually, looking at the genocide in Gaza, looking at the collapse of the fragments of American democracy that were never really meant to serve us, but could nonetheless be made to serve people like you and me, and looking at how the Democrat Party has essentially become every bit the corporate fascist party that the Republicans have been. I really honestly, as a person of faith, I ask myself a question: if my Lord asks me on the day of rising, did I ever offer you a weapon that you could use to defend your brothers and sisters in humanity, and you refused it? Right? That after receiving this offer from Dr. Jill Stein to come aboard and run as VP, if I was asked that question, I'd have to say, yeah, there was this one time, you gave me this opportunity, to take hold of a political party that had national reach, that had a platform that coincided with my principles, values, and ethics, that was poised, to seize this moment, and that could definitely benefit from somebody with my energy, my expertise, my background. So what would be my answer as to why I refused this, this weapon? Because already, just look what's happened in the last 3 weeks, right? The way that we are now polling, we're running laps around, the other candidates in the Muslim community already, right?
Okay, I just want to say this real quick. So Jill Stein did not want to run. Okay. She was running Cornel West. And because he bowed out, somebody had to run in order for the Green Party to keep their status as an actual contender and party. I also say this because I really like Jasmine Sherman. But I forget the vice presidential nominee's name. I know him. The professor. I respect him so much, but I can't remember his name. But you guys know who I'm talking about. He ran with her in the last presidential election as his vice president. I mean, as her vice president. So, Ajuma Baraka. Thank you, Bad Cookies. I think that's right. Ajuma Baraka.
Oh, her other VP?
Now, I also think instead of her running again as the presidential nominee, she should have became the vice president and ran somebody else as the presidential nominee. That's just my humble opinion. Also, but whatever. But that's an explanation for him as to why he accepted the nomination. It makes sense to me. Okay, here we go.
There's actually Yaqeen Institute polling that hasn't even come out, hasn't been made public yet, but in another media spot, it was read out to me. 53% of the Muslim community now nationwide is going third party, and we're taking about 80% of that right now. 15% is going to Team Blue, 4% going to Team Red, right? So in the past 3 weeks, we've just taken off. So the reality is that I've written about the way that like Muslim scholars in West Africa and in the diaspora served as change agents struggling against the rise of the slave trade, against imperialism, white supremacy. And I realized that after writing books and giving lectures about this material, I was being tagged into the fight. And that these were things that I couldn't, that I studied my whole life, have written about, published about, and now I'm being asked, to essentially, serve a very similar function, to take up a mantle of struggling against the face of white supremacy, capitalist exploitation, imperialism in our time. And so while I probably, like if you give me 100 years, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to run for office. But when tagged into a fight, brother ain't no chump neither, so I was ready to go. And I'm in it now to stick with it. Like I told Glenn Greenwald in the media spot yesterday that probably has not yet appeared. That I've already made the decision that if we do not take the White House, if we don't land that Ali, knockout, surprise knockout punch,
shock
the world, you know what I'm saying? And for real, like, I wouldn't have done this, by the way, if we didn't have a shock the world possibility. Like, no, a party that
let me ask, in all honesty, you believe that it is within the realm of possibility, not just some ontological possibility.
No.
Before he asks, can we put up those two comments really quickly? Because we're getting down to the wire where we really have to decide as people who don't want to vote for the duopoly, who we're going to vote for. We have to make these hard conversations.
I know. Wait, my first thing was when you said Jill Stein should have been VP and elect someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what panic does. It makes you rush. And that was a hasty decision. But at the same time, they were under the understanding that Dr. West was going to be the candidate.
Mm-hmm.
So when change happens and panic occurs and you don't have a backup,
you got to move.
Looks like. But that's what it looks like.
Mm.
And then Nahilo
says, I think Jasmine Sherman is too radical for a mostly reactionary American working class, maybe. I mean, that is a really good point because, like, for somebody like me, Jasmine Sherman is like, she's radical enough. Like, I feel like if we aren't going to be radical, the needle isn't going to move enough. You got to go radical because of the ratchet effect. If you go all the way over here, then they're like, okay, well, we'll give you this. Wait, I gotta mirror myself. If you're gonna go all the way over here, then we'll give you that. But if you're gonna go here, which is what I think the Green Party is doing here, then we'll give you that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? My angles are off, but you guys get what I'm saying. Okay, Jacqueline says, I thought Jasmine had some great policies, but I also feel that she might have alienated some demographics. And this is why. Because there's a lot of white people out here that still want Black people to be on the bottom. As long as they are friendly with us. They could be friendly with us, but they don't want to be equal to us. It's a lot of white liberals like that. And that's why I liked her. Golden Monarch says Jasmine Sherman was fire. Akin to, yes, she was very akin to Claudia de la Cruz, in my opinion. And the only reason I picked her over Claudia de la Cruz is because I didn't see ballot access for Claudia de la Cruz. Can you put it back up so I can finish looking at the... I'll read that too, but thank you. The reason I didn't pick her over Claudia de la Cruz is because I didn't see the ballot access that Jasmine Sherman has. Now, Jasmine Sherman's ballot access is scattered. It's like the Unicorn Party, it's the Green, it's the Working Class Party. It's not a unified party, which is why I'm trying to figure out, do I need to go Jill Stein again? Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so if Green is still stuck, why not Chris Hedges? Golden Monarch. I said, why did it have to be Jill Stein? Why not Chris Hedges? Why not Robert Wolf? Why her? She's done it twice. It didn't work out. Let's move on. But whatever. But maybe they didn't want it. I don't know. Can you put out the other? Hello?
The other what?
I'll do it. Fuck it, I'll do it live. No, him first. It's kind of funny you can't find ship food to a friend. I don't know what he's talking about.
You can't ship food to a friend.
Oh, ship. Oh, my eyes, girl. A friend overseas personally without a shit fit? Is that what that says? I can't see.
Without a shit fit.
The food is exported all over the place.
He said you can't do it without having a problem with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Naila?
I got you. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
It took me a second. Okay. So Golden Monarch says it's too late, but maybe the Green Party and the I think that's the hold on. Political socialists of I don't know what that is. Party should emerge into a brand new party. Oh, people socialists. I think that's what he's saying. There's so many of them out there. Yeah, it looks like we all agree. We just have to come to an agreement, some kind of agreement. Should I get back to this or are we still in the chat? I'm gonna get back to this because I think the chat is they having their own discussions, which is fine. Please keep talking in the chat. Okay.
As an actual practical fact, you can explain.
Of course, yeah, and the reason is that if you had given the odds, they might have been 10,000-1 when I joined the campaign, but we were polling below Kamala at that point in time. We're now 4 times ahead of her in the Muslim community, right? We're already polling at 5%. In the youth demographic 18 to 40. I've developed some plans already, on how to use to use AI interventions with targeted ads and other kinds of algorithmic approaches in order to get voter registration up in the younger demographic. So those odds are now significantly better than they were before. And none of us know what's going to happen. Trump could be in jail. Kamala could end up, actually having to take office. Joe Biden doesn't look, like he's long for this world. Who knows what's going to happen next? And if we get a shot at the chin, and if they ever let me on a debate stage with J.D. Vance and Tim Walz, if they ever let Dr. Jill on a debate stage with Trump or Harris, then it's going to be anybody's race. And in the meantime, like that 5% that would guarantee $10 million in federal funding to run the next election, that I think is going to be something that's easy to accomplish given current trajectory and speed. And to be perfectly honest, I think that there are states that we can turn green.
And what state do you think could plausibly turn green?
So I'll give you before we even turn Michigan green, I'm born and originally raised in DC. I think running on a platform of DC statehood and flooding DC with boots on the ground. And by the way, we're opening a national campaign headquarters on DuPont Circle within the next few days. I think that we can turn the District of Columbia green first, and then I think that we can turn the state of Michigan green. And just to provide some context for this, right? So and this is one of the first things that I did. I got with Dalia Mugahed from the Institute for Social Policy and Understanding. She's been doing polling in the Muslim community for a decade, and she read out some numbers to me. These are published numbers. You can find these in their publications. In 2020, in the swing states of Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, Joe Biden got 65% of the Muslim vote. He was polling at 12% in January 2024. So the reality is that the Democrats have actually already lost these crucial swing states. They could not have won those swing states without the Muslim vote. They are not going to win them in the 2024 election.
But there's a big gap between winning the Muslim vote and winning the state.
Agreed. Absolutely.
I look at these numbers and I'm like, Kamala Harris right now is polling, look like 48%, Trump 45.8%. You all are killing in terms of the Muslim vote, but probably polling around 1 or 2% at best. Just assuming y'all have every vote that's not Harris Trump right now.
Yeah, I mean the more recent numbers are not 1 or 2%. The more recent numbers are 4 or 5%. But that's 4 and 5%. That's up from 1 and 2% 3 weeks ago. Right? So do you see what I'm saying? Like at current rate of speed, given an opportunity to affect the media environment. The other part about it is that I'm bringing with me to the campaign 20 years of fundraising experience in the Muslim community. So just for context, right? The Green Party, you're two decades. The Green Party has been, grassroots, not particularly good at fundraising. Let's be blunt about that, right? When I came onto the campaign, they had raised $1.1 million in the prior 11 months or 10 months of campaigning. I've done literally where I was the key fundraiser for a mosque, and in 15 minutes we raised 50 grand to put cornerstones for a mosque. So now that we've got the Muslim community active and engaged, we should be able to very, very rapidly raise funds that are going to be able to lead to things like national advertisement campaigns, right? Right now we are struggling in an uphill media environment, but if we raise the fundraising numbers and the voter registration numbers, and if the polling continues to shift, then what people are going to respond to is a show of strength from the Green Party, right? As soon as people start to realize that this is a party that can actually do electoral damage and maybe get to, let's just say 10%, right? That 10% can position you as a kingmaker. If you are able to turn a state like Michigan green, for example, if you are able to turn the District of Columbia green, then your electoral college votes, your delegates, you can do what you want with them before things go to the House. So all of that is just to say that there are plans within plans, and I'm not approaching this as though defeat has been assured. I'm approaching it that you make your best effort to prepare for that 1 in 1,000 knockout punch, and that you secure that 5% so that you're going to be able to run an effective campaign in 2028. And just to be clear on this, I already made this announcement on Glenn Greenwald yesterday. I'm going to run for governor of California in 2026 in November. Because if you don't win the White House, right? So, and that's the point, is that I want to keep building the institutional infrastructure of the Green Party between cycles. I don't want to let the foot off the gas for the progressive communities to fundraise, for the Muslim communities to fundraise, and to get voter registration up. Like this is the beginning of the consolidation of power. And as a lifelong student of the Black radical tradition, right? Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael used to like to say that usually people mobilize around issues, but revolutionaries organize against systems. Well, one of the principal ways that revolutionaries organize against systems is through political party organizing. And political parties are actually at the core of most successful revolutions within the past 100+ years. Some of those have been
absolutely. No, that is so important. And I think that one of the challenges I've had with some people who run for president in the last 20 years is that even when they have the popularity, it becomes a cult of personality because it's not grounded in movement politics and it's not grounded in party politics.
Right.
And so that becomes a real challenge. I know you announced on Greenwald, but I'm still going to say you announced it again here. 2026 California gubernatorial bid. That seems like obviously a much more manageable struggle than president. Just like
nobody's ever heard of the two candidates that Team Blue and Team Red are going to be running, and everybody will have heard of me by the time this campaign is over. Like already after Breakfast Club and Mehdi Hassan, like you said, people that didn't know are starting to know.
And what would you do as governor of California? What is the Green Party's vision? Because it's not about you; it's about the party.
Exactly. So let me go back first to the part that you said, and this is so crucial, is that, and I want to make this like as clear and explicit as possible. I am not a politician. I'm running for elected office. My aim is to be a public servant, not a politician, right? And that my best friend's mom growing up was the first ever elected official for the Green Party in the state of Minnesota. I moved from DC to the south side of Minneapolis, and attended junior high and high school there. Annie Young, right, was, Park and Rec Board, from 1989 to like 2012, longest serving Green Party, elected official, first elected official. So this was all about like grassroots power building and public service. So I'm going to bring that sensibility, first of all, to any kind of political campaign that I'm a part of. But most importantly, like this is about growing grassroots power. It's not about cult of personality. I honestly could care less, whether it's me at the top of the ticket or somebody else at the top of the ticket. As somebody that's produced music, I always tell people when we do collaborations on a track, it's not about who wins the track. It's that the track wins. I played team sports, and I was throwing a baseball 91 miles an hour when I was 17 years old. I was best as a pitcher, but I also played shortstop, throw hard, hit bombs. If the coach needed me to play third base or center field because that gave us the best chance to win on that day, then it's not about maximizing my skill set. It's about how do I apply my skill set in the place that's going to allow us to produce wins. I would be happy being Dennis Rodman and just playing, not with the hair and all that other stuff, but, but like just playing defense and rebounding if that's what helps us get to the win on that day. So all of that is to say that I want to underline that first part. A gubernatorial bid is part of a broader strategy because I've actually already lined up people that have agreed to congressional runs. One prominent person who I will not name has already agreed to a Senate run coming up as well. So like, the idea is to build a team effort and to grow the Green Party with executive, legislative, mayoral candidates, like to start to put a team together that can win.
There's a lot of concern, and I've been one of those people, and I said this to Jill right here on the show, that we haven't been doing enough of that. Now, I think there's a legitimate argument that the local grassroots organizing that happens from the Green Party doesn't get spotlighted in the media.
They don't get no shine, yeah.
Yeah, and the Democratic Party undermines, right? They fight us at every turn, both true.
No, they cannot. Testing, testing. Guys, Abby will be returning shortly. So thank you for hanging hanging in there with us. I know that was kind of weird, right? Well, one thing that I did learn in my navigation through podcasts just to do research is that technical glitches occur quite often. So I just told Abby, let's just work through it. This is growing pains. Eventually, when we get our tailor-made, studio, we'll be okay with all that. But I appreciate you guys in the chat room. I thank you for being attentive. Robbie Burns, I appreciate you. You own it like whatever, man. You own it. So we're gonna try to reboot her, get her back started, and then jump back in on the scene. So what you guys think about the Green Party's VP so far? I've seen a lot of mixed opinions in the chat. Some people have Trump on the mind. Some people have other candidates on the mind, like Abby is a Jasmine fan. So, what do you guys think? And Dela Cruz, I know you like Dela Cruz as well, but I'm curious to see what our fan. I know. Okay, can you hear me? No, I cannot. I know that Nahilo and Jackie don't have skin in the game, but we definitely love your opinion. We definitely love to hear your opinion. I see you, Abby. No, I cannot. Something must be going on. You gotta something happen. But if you want to put these on, they can hear you with this, and you can talk through mine, and I'll just not talk. You want to do that? Here you go. Cannot hear you at all. I cannot hear you at all. Okay, guys in the chats, can you hear Abby do? I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking now. Unplug your mic and plug it back, Bad Cookie says. I mean, we suggest that Bad Cookies, Abby do is a willful minded woman. You know how she do. Can't hear you. So, whoa. Put this away. Thank you kindly. Here you go. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the mic over to Abby do, and she'll be right with you.
Thank you. Thank you, T. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, now they can hear. But now they can't hear you. Here, try this. Okay. All right. That was so messed up. Okay. I was like explaining the different parties. So there is a American Socialist Party, which that's what the ASP I was saying about, which they kind of call themselves Socialist Party of USA. Um, there is a Democratic Socialist Party. Democratic Socialists of America, rather. Sorry. Um, they have a website and everything. There's the Workers' Party of America. There's a lot of parties, and it's like, why can't all these parties get away from their egos and come together to smash the duopoly? We don't need all these goddamn parties. Not right now. Not right now. What? What happened? What are you doing? Okay. What is PSL? I don't know. What is PSL? Oh, is that the People's Party? No.
They said it earlier. Somebody said it
earlier. There was a People's Party. There was a People's Party. Oh, PSL is the Party for Socialism and Liberation. See, I never even heard of that damn party. You see what I'm saying? There's too many goddamn parties. When we need to come together. Oh, Claudia is PSL. Okay. Interesting. And Jacqueline said she never heard of a unicorn party. There's a unicorn party. Why? We are too fragmented at this point. Oh man, Barker says, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Jesus fucking Christ. There's too many fucking parties. I need a swear jar. At least I'm not super angry like you were on Black Life. You was on one. She's greatly apologizing. It was hilarious. I watched that show twice. No, maybe 3 times. It's too many goddamn parties. If we are really trying to actually do something, we need to combine all these goddamn parties and actually build a movement that will make sense for a third party system, right? I never heard, Jacqueline, I never heard of a can you put up Jack? I never heard of a unicorn party until Jasmine Sherman mentioned it, and it sounded suspect to me. But I could understand the concept of a unicorn party because it's like a utopia you're trying to build because the unicorn isn't real. You know what I mean? Uh, you gotta tell them no. If it's a dinner party, you gotta tell them no. So yeah, so far, are you guys feeling the VP? I gotta put up to like 1.5 so we don't get strike hits. Maybe we will. I don't know. So I should go back to that. I should go back to that because now we are mic check, mic check. We're good. Exactly, Michael. You can't break or not Hilo. You can't break the duopoly with a handful of fragmented, splintered parties. It's too many goddamn parties. I like Eric T. Red. I like him. I hope he comes back on. I hope he comes back on one of the shows. Bring your baby oil. Bring it. Actually, don't bring it. We already got some. Yes, we know Eric. I know Eric came on this show before. Um, but unfortunately, Eric and Mastermind, I don't know what happened, so he's never coming on the show again. But hopefully, I can coerce him to come on Noteworthy or Black Life or something because we were supposed to do an 11 series of his 11 demands, and I really, really think that's good work to be done. I really, really think that's honorable work, and I didn't want to see that dissipate. So, but what can you do? It's beyond my control. Here, your egregore says, "I felt folks about the Green Party. I tell folks, sorry, about the Green Party, and they didn't even know other parties other than really, damn. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people who are uninformed, but they have the arrogance to think they know everything.
Check this out. My friend Graylin, you remember Graylin?
Don't give
GL,
baby stories.
no. You remember when GL came on here? GL was just, and that was like only a few weeks ago, right? He was just telling people that Dr. West was a candidate. How long it had been since we already knew Dr. West was announcing and running and all that because we were
At the
listening
very
at
beginning.
the very, very beginning. And what I'm trying to say is people are so disconnected, they don't get news. And like how mainstream media gives them news like this and they jump on it and they act like it's life.
Mm,
Real news isn't filtered or given or distributed in that
mm,
fast of a pace where
mm.
they can be like, oh, Dr. West running, and it actually sinks in. It just doesn't because they don't get
And
it.
you know what? I'm glad you said that because this is why independent media is so important.
Yeah.
Because we are on the precipice of what is actually happening when everybody else is scolds and blows behind. So keep supporting independent media, folks, because this is where it's at. And not just us, our friends out there, independent media friends. We appreciate you. Indie News, Horrorlands Media. Uh, it's so many. I'm sorry. Michael could rattle them off the top of his head, but I can't. I'm sorry. But that doesn't mean I'm not trying to not say who you are. I just can't.
If not for independent friends, we would all be ass out. And that's real.
Hmm. So let's get back to the get back. Savvy has new users whom I don't even know who they are. I don't have nothing to do with that. Mm-mm. That's a Jill Stein thing. Look, it's a Jill Stein thing.
It's a
It's a vibrant thing. Remember that song? It's above me now. You have to know that. You have to be on social media to know that. I don't know that. All right, I'm going back to the get back. Oh wait, let me go back a little bit. Okay, here we go. It's gonna take us all goddamn day to get through this. Yeah, Q-tip, yeah. It's a vibrant thing. So let me see if they're gonna be able to hear me. Now they can't hear because it's on. Oh wait. Oh shit. I'm trying to. Hold on. I gotta put this in here because it's gonna be doing crazy shit. Okay, there we go. Now let's try it. There it goes. There it is. But I can't hear with this. Yes, you can. I can't hear with this. I cannot. You hear shit? What happened to the goddamn lights?
That's what helps us get to the win that day. So all we got is to say that I want to underline that first part. The gubernatorial bid is part of a broader strategy because I'm actually
It's on.
I will not name into a Senate run coming up as well. So like the idea is to build a team effort and to grow the Green Party with executive, legislative, mayoral candidates, like to start to put a team together that can win.
There's a lot of concern, and I've been one of those people, and I said this to Jill right here on the show. Enough of that. Now, I think there's a legitimate argument that the local grassroots organizing that happens from the Green Party doesn't get spotlighted in the media.
They don't get no shine. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Democratic Party undermines, right? They fight us at every turn. Both true.
Yep.
I think though that said,
yet and still, go ahead, say it.
Right, yet and still, we don't do enough. I'm very concerned about the relative lack of commitment to mayoral elections and city council seats. I'm watching the Working Families Party, which may not have the same radical politic, but has a strategy for saying we're going to infiltrate the Democratic Party at times, right? When that's the best chance at winning, like in Philadelphia, and we're going to operate as a third party in other places when that's the best chance at winning. But at the core, we're going to occupy these different seats and work at the grassroots level and not even think about the presidency for maybe 10 years so that we can build up capacity. One part of that is the capacity building and actual strategic. The other thing is at a bigger level is what the public sees. Because my worry is that when I go around this country and hear people talk about the Green Party, they see it as grandstanders and spoilers. Right? And I don't think that's accurate or fair, but I get why people might see that, especially in the context of the media trying to stop us. What do you say to all that? How do you make sense of that?
I couldn't agree more. I think that it's obvious that like we're not making cake like that we can be like running national ads. We don't have a media network carrying water for us the way that Fox carries water for Team Red, or the way that MSNBC carry water for Team Blue, or the way that CNN carry water for the 1%. So you're not going to get the shine on the activity. And I mean, there's 1,500 Green Party elected officials spread out throughout the country. I mentioned one that was like formative in my childhood on Park and Recreation Board. And she made big impact in the city of Minneapolis on the South Side. You know what I'm saying? Like legend status. But having said that, I actually agree with you. I think that if I were to kind of make an institutional critique as somebody coming in from the outside, my principal, kind of institutional critiques of the functioning of the Green Party would be that there has not actually been enough focus on integrating the visibility that comes with those national campaigns and the National Green Party, and then the work on the ground. So just to give an example, that's literally the first thing that I've set about to resolve. So we've secured a campaign space on DuPont Circle in DC that is meant to integrate vertically the visibility of the national campaign with the Green Party National, and then also the boots on the ground that are in DC, and to create that vertical integration so that you have synergy between the kind of public visibility that is on Dr. Jill and myself now, and that the power is flowing both up and down that network. And you're also creating a hub so that everywhere in the Eastern region, you've got a place where you can gather, where you're just a 1 hour flight, from the center of power. We're setting up centers, national campaign centers in Detroit, in Oakland, in Dallas, and in Chicago, so that we have a hub and spokes model that is going to allow us to kind of marshal resources, media resources, political resources, organizing resources, and start to create that integration between the national campaign levels and that groundwork. I've taken that.
Okay. Testing. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? DC, can you hear me? Oh yeah, we are at church. We ain't going nowhere. Little black Baptist church up in here. So first of all, Rondo, peace, bam. You are petty as hell. Calling that man zesty. What are you, moist? You get a little moist. That man got a whole wife. I mean, I don't mean nothing, but whatever. It ain't it ain't my job to judge. But what do y'all think about that strategy where they're opening up headquarters in hubs all across the country? I mean, I don't think that's a bad strategy. And the thing is, like, what other party has the ability to do that? And we're getting so desperate that do we have time to wait for these other fragmented parties to do that? Should we attach ourselves to this party, or should we just say no? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is our strategy as independent people who are tired of the duopoly? Because the Green Party gives me it gives me some vibes. We don't have time now. Yeah. He says we don't have time now. You know what, Rondo? I mean, not Rondo. I'm sorry, Robbie. a big part of me is feeling like we don't have time for that right now. We need to strike while the iron is hot, type of thing. Like, this might be our best shot, and then if something's wrong with them, we're gonna have to deal with that when we deal with it. But for now, we might have to go with it. That's how I don't know. My strategy is couch and cry. But Sean, there's a lot of did you watch Noteworthy? We were talking about how it's not really good to sit on the couch because there's a lot of ballot initiatives happening also. Now, you don't have to vote for a president. You could leave that part blank. You could write somebody in, or you could vote third party. It's not my job to tell you what to do. But there are ballot initiatives that are important in your local residence that you probably want to vote on. That's all I'm saying. Uh, Anything else before we keep moving on?
Wait a second. I want to answer what Sean said. Sean
What
said,
about
Bad Cookie said,
we should be? Go ahead.
reprogramming the next generation so that they don't fall into the same cycle that we fell fell to stop in our generation. And this is what I say to that. They are self-absorbed. They only worry about certain things. They only show respect to certain people. If they are not intentionally targeted and like nurtured, I'm telling you, it's not gonna mean fuck. You know what I'm saying? So I hear what you're saying about the need to connect them and deprogram them. It's available. We're there. We could do it. It's just like walking in a room full of guns lying there. They're not gonna kill anybody just lying there. You need people actually behind them with a focus intent on the target. And I'm saying somebody else gonna program or deprogram or reprogram these children if we don't do it in a better way.
Mm. I also want to say,
You can hear it?
yeah. I mean, I can hear you because you're sitting right next to me. I don't know if they can hear you. Sean, that's a good point. Those are federal politics. Those ballot initiatives. No, there's a lot of state. Sorry, Tosh.
I'm sorry.
Though there are a lot of state laws on the ballots because we went over that. And now, if in your state it's just federal and you want to sit on the couch, by all means, sit on the couch. But there's a lot of state ballots on the initiative as well in many states. I don't know who is he. I like this one. American woman, look at me, and American woman. Yeah, it starts with a K. He close enough.
I know what you meant.
Ooh, I got to watch that when I get off this live and look at him with his shirt off. Mm, mm, mm.
That's one person that I want to love. I love two men, Maxwell and fucking Lenny Kravitz. Those are my babies.
And not how does it feel? What was his name? Oh, his body was so D'Angelo. That's him. Yeah. Mm, mm.
I love Maxwell and fucking Lenny Kravitz, and they both accused him of being gay.
Jacqueline looked them up, girl. All three of them, child. You will not be disappointed. Okay, we getting back to this, or what we doing? We just talking shit, or what we doing? Shout out to Mastermind Hour who couldn't be here. Peace, 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 my brother. Mm-hmm. All right, so let me see how do I do this. And I know this is going fast, and I'm doing that, because it's YouTube. So, but he has a lot of good stuff to say, and I probably should have started later.
On as like a personal charge, and due to doing a lot of community organizing and activism and teaching work in all those communities, like I'm able to engage, networks that go back a couple of decades that can reinforce what Greens are already doing on the ground in those spaces, infuse, resources and funding from the Muslim community into it, and especially like a lot of energy from, what I'm calling the Red, Black, and Green Party, because we are bringing a lot of new, Black folks and diaspora folks into Green Party politics just in the last 3 weeks.
There's somebody writing in, sort of piggybacking on what we've just been talking about. Bullet the Bunny writes in and says, Professor Ware, is there a plan for the Greens to address their approachability problem? Asking for a friend.
Somebody's going to have to spell out what the approachability problem is if I'm going to answer the question.
Fair enough. Bullet, right on in and maybe follow up. Give us a follow up on that. I think that's a fair point. And some people are asking the same thing.
Somebody said what approachability problem? Yeah.
So I want to make sure that question gets in.
I would love to answer, but I need to know what's meant by approachability in that context.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I think you've never heard that critique before.
Well, it depends on what's meant by approachability. Like I had a similar question come from another media source that kind of asked whether there was a kind of elite politics to the Green Party, essentially talking about
Okay, Ronnie, it is running kind of fast. I didn't want to get it like a hit, but we don't make money off this anyway. So let me just bring it down a notch, so you can actually hear what he's saying. I apologize for that.
Did you have it on 1.5?
I did have it on 1.5. I'm moving it to 1.25 because even I said it's kind of fast. Okay, so I apologize for that. And then before I start back, I just want to play this from my badass friend. Where's Jacqueline? What a badass. Talk about don't bring me into it. Where's she at? Oh, if you all think you hate autocorrect, try only having text to talk. I have over a year to communicate. Kind of hard to instill fear when your phone says, duck your mother ducker.
Duck you. Not.
Oh, duck you.
Yeah, duck you.
It's hard for me to see.
I know, but that's
Brad
ridiculous.
Cookies told me I should change my font on my computer.
That's ridiculous.
I probably
Duck you,
should.
mother ducker.
I'm getting old.
That is hilarious, Sean. That is hilarious.
Now bring up that Jacqueline. Talking about don't bring her into this shit. Oh yeah, here you go. I got it. Is this it? No, that's not it.
You gonna ask me or you gonna do it?
You do it. Oh, I found it. Don't involve me in your shenanigans, Abidoo. I'm way too old for them. I'm too old for this shit too, girl. Jacqueline, I just had to take my mom. I had to go to Bridge with my mom because they didn't have they needed one more member. Lord, I spent all day with these elderly women. They was funny as fuck, I ain't gonna lie. They don't give a goddamn what they say. They say whatever they want when they want. And they talk a lot of shit. I laughed so hard. They talked about me all the way through Sunday. Do I need to go this way? They talked about how skinny I was. They talked about how I talk shit too much about the Bridge game because I beat them. So anyway, let me get back to this. I'm going back to 125 so we can hear, and I'm gonna pull it back a little bit because we gotta.
I want to put this to you.
Shut up.
Beating up on old people in Bridge. I think Robbie Burns is right. I think Robbie Burns says the bridge too far. Robbie, you are correct. She went to bully old people at the bridge.
It wasn't just me, it was my mama too. We were on 2 separate tables, and I was winning at my table. My mom was winning at our table. So I was talking shit for both of us, and they said, "Get her out of here." It was hilarious. I ain't gonna lie to you, we whooped their ass. I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing, and I still whooped their ass.
I love talking shit with other people. I freaking love it. It gives me life.
Because they don't care what they say. They
don't
say
care.
anything.
They care what they say, but they realize they can say what the fuck ever.
They say
can't wait
whatever
to
they
be
want.
another person. Oh, it's gonna give me so much joy.
You kind of doing it already on your podcast, but anyway, can we move on? You kind of went off on your bad podcast last week, but whatever. Let's move on to what we talking about.
I was practicing.
They said you was on one, child.
I was practicing.
All right, so I changed the speed. Here we go.
Fact that I'm a PhD that's taught at research universities, and Dr. Jill, is also from an Ivy League school, training, and for me the question sort of conflated the liberal elite criticism of Team Blue and kind of lumped Team Green in with that, and that doesn't reflect who Green Party elected officials and public servants are across this country, number one. And number two, it definitely does not reflect like my own personal background or sensibility. Like my dad had a 6th grade education. My mom was a 15-year-old teenage mom whose high school guidance counselor told her to have an abortion. I never lived at the same street address for a calendar year until I was 8 years old. We were in and out of public housing, evictions, battered women's shelter, homeless shelter, couch surfing, living in my dad's locksmith van, right? So the idea that because a brother like me is able to actually get a PhD, teach at Research One universities, that I'm now somehow like an elitist or unapproachable, like, nah, I'm the same dude.
I think in fairness, those people would say that you're the exception, that you're the outlier, that you're not the prototypical Green Party person, nor I, right?
Right.
That it might be that it's Jill Stein, right? But I want to bring in a Bullet's question back up. Just
perfect.
I feel like the Greens come off as activists who are not interested in earning votes. I do not want you to be compromising. I just need help convincing others.
Perfect. Okay, so that's thank you for unpacking what was behind approachability, because it's not the same kind of elitist question that I was hearing in it. So thank you for that. Okay. I think that there is a valid critique of many that are traditionally glossed as being on the progressive, radical, revolutionary, so-called left. And I'll explain why I say so-called left in just a moment. I think that there's a fair gloss that many are like activists that seem interested in scoring points more than producing outcomes. I have been a very, very sharp critic, in point of fact, of like a lot of the ideological purity tests that different kind of leftist parties and political organizations are often applying, because I don't think that the majority of American people care about your definition of Marxism, your definition of anarchism, like what your kind of particular political orthodoxy is. And I can see that as a valid critique of many on the so-called left. I think that that's actually less applicable to the Green Party than it is to some others. And I think that criticism of kind of activists, that are looking to score points, I think that that's a little bit of a caricature of the actual position of the Green Party. I think that the Green Party has actually demonstrated a profound success in building institutional capacity and durability. I mean, if you think about starting at Macalester College in St. Paul in 1984, and still being able to now have like national electoral reach 40 years later, when so many of the parties that are not corporate parties, that are actually, as Dr. Jill likes to call them, people-powered parties, so many have come into and out of existence. That shows very clearly that actually the Green Party has been interested in political capacity and institution building. But I do think that we can do a better job.
I have to unmute. Okay. So he just kind of alluded to what we were talking about all these fragmented parties. And the Green Party is like the longest standing third party that we have, right? So that's all I wanted to say. He just alluded to that. And it's an hour and 30 minutes. We're only
40
30.
43 minutes.
30.
Oh, you talking about this?
Yes. Oh, you talking about what we are in?
Yes.
Because we out here playing and joking around. And by the way, there is a link pinned if anybody wants to jump in and say something. You can, because we just talking shit. Um, I did want to touch on because he speaks a lot about how they are corralling the Muslim vote to the Green Party. Like a lot of Muslims are deciding to vote green this time around from his activism. Um, so I wish I could find because he asked him about like abortion and stuff in Islam. So I want you guys to hear what he has to say to give you a good understanding. So while I look for that, Tosh, do you wanna can I put you on the spot or no?
Sure. About what?
Anything. Um okay.
I want to talk about
Because I want to bypass some of this so we can get to the meat and potatoes of it all because it's getting late. So I
okay.
figure
I wanted to talk about this.
okay.
Stop thinking that the Democrats are your friends when it comes to negotiations, because that really makes my fucking skin crawl and stomach hurt, because they never ever fucking do what they say they will do when it's election time. When it's election time, they're gonna codify, they're gonna do every fucking thing under the sun. But when it's actually time to put that shit in play, to use the chops and use and, and actually use the power that they have, it seems like that magic confidence is gone and they don't have it anymore. And so that's the shit that pisses me off. I don't know about you all, but that's the shit that pisses me off. Um, so Sean says that OIC. Back Cook is followed up with. I put more thought into. I would lean toward self-grown indoctrination, like the two big parties do, as in with the internship and other things. And Sean followed up with says they fought Trump with everything they had. I mean, listen, they fought Trump with the 9/11 type shit. I mean, listen, man, the more I learn about, just how intentional 9/11 was, and then when I see what systematic. And mind you, this shit not it used to look smart back in the day when we didn't have access to shit. Now that we have access to technology as far as internet, as far as Google, as far as videos of history, now that we have access to all that shit, do you realize how dumb they look? They look fucking really dumb at some of the intentional shit that they've done. And it seems like the people who are falling in line and drunk off the money and the power positions that they acquire, they dumb too because they following the same dumbass recipes. And eventually, just like all bumps in a fucking log, they're gonna come to blow. And something's gonna happen where all this shit's gonna be revealed. And what you gonna do then? You're gonna continue. The problem is they still have people that can see shit at face value, hear shit at face value. For example, Kamala Harris made up a grandmother in her book. Easy deep dive that Candace Owens did to uncover that shit. What I'm saying is that previous old shit that they thought they could get away with, that stuff is being so revealed. And to me, I don't know about you all in the chat, but to me, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that we as a people continue to fall for these same tactics, elect these same dumbass people, allow them to live luxurious lives in our faces, and we do fucking nothing about it. Nothing about it, but continue to work hard, pay bills, go to work, wake up, pay bills, stressed on our health, stressed on the fuck food they feed us, all kind of other shit that they're doing to destroy us while using us like fucking succubus. I fucking hate it. That's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this back over. Abby, dude, get it to me. Oh, my bad. I turned it off. My bad. You get it to me. You told me to talk.
The funniest part of this shit was I was supposed to be admin and I'm over. I don't know what the hell I was doing over here. Sakuda said, "What's up, y'all?" Okay, so I didn't get to the abortion part, but I really do want y'all to hear this because most people think that in Islam abortion is like illegal or whatever. It's kind of I want you to hear it for yourself, but I want you to hear this first, and then we're gonna get to that part. Jacqueline's like, "Yeah, girl, hey, whatever you said, I don't know. I was over here. I was."
Tired of the dumb shit. You tired of the dumb shit. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so, and I apologize that I wasn't adminning while you was talking. I was in my own little world, doing my own little thing. All right, so here we go. Can you hear it?
That's muted, so it's not playing. I got it. You gotta unmute it. This is muted. This is muted. It's muted.
Oh shit.
Sorry, folks.
Investors right now and to sleep on a slightly bigger pile of money than they slept on the night before. And then finally, the peace, right? Dr. Jill has been at the forefront of denuclearization for a couple of decades. That this is an opportunity for us to. And when I asked her, this was. I'll tell you when she had me. I was interviewing her for my Instagram live before I come on the campaign, and I asked her a question about reparations because I just seen Kamala Harris shucking and jiving and saying, literally, she said, "I will never do anything that only helps Black people." and I remember thinking, yeah, because when did America do anything that only hurt Black people? You know what I'm saying? So I asked Dr. Jill about reparations. She said they behave as though it's incalculable, but it's been calculated many times by specialists. It's between $10 and $13 trillion US, and I'm in favor of cash payments. And I was like, okay, check. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Then I said, we know that you're at the forefront of the struggle for freedom in Palestine. And as an anti-Zionist Jewish white woman, that is a powerful image. Like seeing you get arrested at a protest is a powerful image. And I checked with my Palestinian colleagues before I even had this interview. So your bona fides are cool with me on that. I'm not going to ask you about Palestine. Let me ask you instead about your overall view of American foreign policy. She said, my overall view of American foreign policy is that we need to dismantle the American empire. Mm. Right. So, and I said, yeah, you better hurry up and do it quick before somebody do it for you. Right, that those two things look very different. If you take the $1 trillion that we are wasting killing other people's kids and start to put that to work for the American people on infrastructure, on social housing, on healthcare, on treating the drug epidemic like a public health crisis instead of an opportunity to create a carceral state that exploits Black and brown people, then you can really make foundational change immediately in the United States of America. Right. Whereas if we continue with these 800 military bases everywhere antagonizing the world, what did Malcolm say? These are America's chickens coming home to roost.
So let me push you to drill down on some of these policies. Yeah. Because I can hear your critics right now say, cool, but what does that look like in the context of electoral politics? What does that look like in the context of the Congress? What does it look like in terms of ballot initiatives? So let's talk specifically. Working class people are the working poor.
Yeah. And getting poor.
And getting poor.
Yep.
What policies would you like to see imposed? What policies, if you take over the White House, would you advocate for and sign and or veto in order to create a not to magically fix all this, right? I want to be realistic, but to get us in the right direction even.
Excellent question. So let's say we do get that puncher's chance and we test that soft chin and we miraculously go from, the 4 or 5% that we're polling now to that 34% that is going to be needed for an electoral college victory. And we shock the world and take the White House. So a couple of things are going to happen right away. We won't go into foreign policy too much, but Dr. Jill has already said a single phone call ends the genocide in Gaza. That obviously makes a huge impact. Let's talk about domestic policy. She's already said that the executive branch can immediately, right, immediately through the Department of Justice, undertake monopoly and antitrust lawsuits to break up these massive monopolistic corporations that are completely, destroying the capacity for small businesses to compete. So you can break up those monopolies right away. That is a fundamental change that will shift the environment immediately. You can do things like immediately add 3 new Supreme Court justices to the United States Supreme Court, not the liberal justices that we have now, but you could actually fundamentally change the nature and shape of the United States Supreme Court and undo with the stroke of a pen what the right wing has been, engineering through billionaire interventions and buying Clarence Thomas and, Roberts and Alito and others, for a couple of generations. There's all kinds of things that the executive branch is capable of doing without any real cooperation from Congress or even from, the Supreme Court until you change the Constitution of the court. Moreover, if we are able to build that kind of power over the next 7 weeks before this election takes place, it will mean that there will be a mandate for this ticket that is essentially unprecedented in American history, right? So that even, congressional politicians that would be averse to our programs and policies would nonetheless have to respond to the fact that the American people have spoken in an unprecedented and profound fashion. They're going to have to either get down or lay down because it's going down. Like, it means that we have made a power move. And if that power move does not come in 2024, and it has the chance to, it's a long shot, but it's a shot, then that power move is coming in 2028. And yeah, go ahead.
No, I believe court packing.
Before he goes ahead, I just want to say, don't forget that there's a change.org petition happening to repeal Article 8 for the UN allowing the USA, not America. I have to change my language because America is the continent. The United States of America is where I live. To have veto power over whatever they decide. So it gives us an unjust power that we don't fucking deserve. So go to change.org. Go to Nahilo and I did a show on this. I don't know if I can find the link right now. But don't forget about that. It's like Article 8. And they just need like as many signatures as they can get. They were at about 85,000. They said they just needed 100,000 signatures to go forth with it and like plead a case. So I just want to say that real quick, and then we get back to this. And just do not forget, we have power and strength in numbers.
Moving Congress, moving the Supreme Court to more justice would require congressional approval, which means you can't do it with a stroke of a pen, but also that you would need congressional support.
You would need congressional support. True.
How do you? I mean, and again, Democrats might be down for that, given depending on.
Depending on how things break. And yes, thank you for checking me on that, because I put 2 things together in my head. So to unpack that, the scenario where we advocate for court packing is actually the middle scenario between the 5% and the knockout punch. So if you are able to get a couple of states, let's say Michigan for sure, District of Columbia, and let's say either Pennsylvania or Georgia, they're demographically the same state, but let's say we get 2 out of those 3. Then before things go to the House, your delegates are your delegates. You could be in a position to negotiate with the Democrats, correct, on how you're going to allocate those delegates. So one thing that you could say is, yeah, we don't want the orange, we don't want the orange war criminal either, and we have not won this election, neither have you. But with our delegates, you could win this election. So here's all we need. How about your congressional support? and the executive office that we get, let's say, just say three Supreme Court justices, make it an even dozen, and how about an arms embargo? And you can have our delegates, right? You are in a position of being a kingmaker. So that was
a little bit like Northern Atticat's point, before you were on the ticket. Like, hey, why don't we leverage our power to be able to stop this genocide in Gaza?
Different point, though, because Nora was holding the whole party hostage. So Nora was saying you have to withdraw from the election if you get this embargo. And if you withdraw from the election, you lose the electoral access that the Green Party has been struggling to establish for 40 years. No sane person is going to let Nora Ercat twist their arm behind their back and call them uncle the way that she was asking them to, because the Green Party does not exist solely to bring about an arms embargo. The Green Party exists to give the American people an actual democratic option. The Green Party exists to abolish the Electoral College, to bring ranked choice voting into all electoral systems across the country, so that you're not incentivizing gangbanging between blue and red, these two criminal organizations, not to be confused with the legitimate street organizations known as the Bloods and Crips, right? There are blue and red gangs in this country, but they're Democrats and Republicans. So the point is that the Green Party does not exist solely to end a genocide in Gaza or solely to affect American imperialism abroad. It exists to deliver on the promises of democracy to the American people that, let's be blunt about this, America has never delivered on. Not for our people, not for working white folks, not for indigenous populations, not for most of us. And my goal in getting into this fight is to make America live up to the promises that she done made over these centuries. And I believe that we have the backing of the American people on questions like withdrawing from all of these foreign wars. Nobody wants their tax money to go straight to Raytheon after being used to bomb other people's kids. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
These are popular positions. Yeah, go ahead.
No, Fisher said Mark is acting like Kamala would have promised an embargo. No, I'm not arguing that at all. I think
at all.
I think she would absolutely, as she has said, I'm not doing an embargo. I stand with Israel. I'm going to continue to fund Israel's right to defend itself, which is really to maintain an ethno state.
But
I just want to make this point clear for the person. My point was more in terms of representing what I understood Nora Atticat's position to be. I think Nora agreed. Nora's point was, and I wouldn't agree that she was trying to hold the party hostage. I think she was more saying, for me to be on this ticket, this is the principal choice I can make. But she also said, I respect the Green Party's desire and need to protect itself, right? So she wasn't saying, go my way or no way.
That's factual. Yes,
yeah.
agree.
But also here,
by the way, I have mad respect for Nora. Like I'm just saying, I wouldn't have taken that deal either. That's all. And I wasn't.
Right. And I think Nora's saying, cool, right? Just for me to be part of this is what I would need to maintain my ethical principle and my strategy. But she can speak for herself far better than I can. But I think Nora's point with regard to this, which I was echoing, is of course Kamala's not going to go for it. Show them up so that when the Democrats lose this race, you have nobody to blame. You can't blame the Green Party and say, well, the Green Party stole the votes. They stole. No. Kamala Harris, you have an opportunity to get the mandate. You have an opportunity to win this race. Just give an arms embargo. And they can't blame nobody.
Imagine how depraved you have to be and how craven, like how in the pocket, like I've said before, that their souls are folded on tiny little pieces of paper that are buried deep in the pockets of AIPAC and Raytheon. You know what I'm saying? Like their names are written down, and they're folded up, like, because imagine how deep in their pockets you have to be to all you have to do to win an election is to pull back on the most heinous genocide that any of us have ever witnessed in our lifetime with our own eyes. And they will not do it because they are fully owned subsidiaries of AIPAC and the War Machine. That's it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Wait, while we're clapping back at people in the comments, who was the Democratic?
All right. Whew, that was a lot. That was a lot, right? I mean, if we know the problems, where are the solutions? The clapping back. Okay. Can you speak on this, T? This clap. Hold on. I'm gonna let you speak on it.
He clapping back because it's factual stuff he's talking about. It's like, just like I was saying earlier, it's like we tired of hearing the same rhetoric. We tired of talking about the same problems. We need solutions. We need action-oriented leaders. We need people to not do. For example, I heard this young man on a social media post saying, why doesn't Democrats answer questions? Regardless of what the fuck, why won't they answer questions? And if Kamala is so intelligent, I know that's not my point. My point is that he's at least paying attention to one facet, one part of the whole situation. He realizes that Democrats are continuing to regurgitate the same rhetoric, the same bullshit fucking tactics. But my question to that person who made that post was, don't you mean political parties? Don't you mean the duopoly? I was trying to open up the dialogue so that not this that once it seems like if one side of your brain is functioning where you are capable, if you are capable of saying, what the fuck is wrong with Democrats? Why the fuck ain't they doing this, and that? If your brain is capable of deducing and making that fucking statement, then why is it just as intelligent enough to say, you know what? Fuck Republicans too. I don't get that. That's my point. My point is, how can you clearly, wide, bright eyes, wide open shut? That's what I'm gonna say. Eyes wide open shut. How can you see clearly what faults are in the Democratic Party? What faults are with Kamala Harris? What faults are with all of their strategies and their this, and that? And then you can with strength and conviction support the motherfucking Republican Party who has been doing the same, if not worse, things for the last fucking 20 years of our lives. You mean to tell me your bright light is brightly shining on the Democrats' fuck ups, but you can't see fuck what Trump doing. You can't see fuck what the Republicans doing. Your mind is telling you you are highly intelligent for calling out this fucking Democrat bullshit. Yet you can't see the whole game. Go ahead, you may.
I feel like it's blissful ignorance. Why the fuck are so many? I'm sorry, my white people, I love you. Some of you, not all of you. Why are some so blissfully ignorant and gaslighting us that liberals are gaslighters? Well, let me start with the Republicans. They act blissfully ignorant, like they don't know what the fuck going on. Like they like we're y'all are the racists for bringing up color and this and that, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? We I gotta stop cussing. Okay, we are just trying to explain to you our experience, and then you're trying to gaslight us like this experience is not even fucking happening to us. Okay, then the liberals act like, oh, we understand your experience. Um, but even so, we need to just go slowly. We want to be inclusive, but we'll put a we'll put a black face in front of something, but you can't have everything. We'll just give you a little bit. I mean, it's just ridiculous to me. How are we still doing this in 2024? Am I explaining myself correctly? You want to tap in? All right, Black Life want to tap in. But did I explain? All right.
Okay, so um, picking up on where I left off, Jackie said, "No, I'm just saying. I agree with what Abby D was saying. I think change, and I also agree with what Jackie's saying. I think change is coming. You want to know where the change is coming from, Abby and Jackie? It's coming from students. Let me tell you something. No, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. you can ignore and do the same thing that society has done to black people, lump up all young people in one category as though they're self-absorbed, don't care, and disconnected, and so forth. That's what society did to black people. But sadly, to their fucking mistake, black people are not one fucking kind of breed. We have variations, we have diversity, just like young people. There are some young people who are so in tune to what is going on. True, there may be small pockets of them, but let me tell you what research does. The same thing that would do for you, it does for young people. And there are several young people that I know who are not only innovative
They're
thinkers,
equally, bad. No, they're
What I'm
not
saying is that
equally bad.
I'm saying every opportunity, Democrats and Republicans
something just
fumble on
came
this
on.
issue.
It's all good. What I'm trying to say is stay tuned. It's cool. It's cool. I was just trying to say stay tuned because these young people are going to surprise you. They are just like us. Half of us don't fucking know what's going on, who's in the political parties, what is political parties. I'm talking about people our age. There are young people who are on it so fucking hard who do not get the acknowledgement and the publicity as these other kids do. But just believe they will be fucking doing some damage. I just want y'all to know. So if you have young people in your life, pay attention to what they're exposed to because they're exposed to a hell of a lot more truth than we were. There's a lot more of young people who are fucking woke at their age than I was at their age because I didn't know, I wasn't exposed, I didn't have access to internet where if my teacher told me some bullshit about black people and I just had to swallow it and believe it, you know what I'm saying? I had to believe it because that's what she told me, that's what he told me. And so when
And there's a lot of kids who are adapted to reality TV,
yes,
and they're not
but
exposed. They think that that's life.
I know
So it's the
if they
same
don't
shit.
have no because
Okay.
the same way that your mom instilled in you certain characteristics to help you become the
No, I think they be going to get foster kids because they know where you going on them damn reality shows and showing your ass like that, and you got a mom and a daddy,
I'm not
or your
talking about
mom
the
and a
characters on the
grandpa.
show. I'm talking about the viewers. The viewers are not all one type of viewer.
The viewers
Because you watch some stupid shit that I don't agree with. That's like, why are you watching this mindless shit? But you watch it for entertainment purposes, correct? I'm not going to discount kids and say they can't watch shit for entertainment purposes because guess what?
I'm an adult.
I
I
know
don't
you
want
are an
that.
adult, but we believe in different things, and that's another element.
No. Those children, those children in high school
Hmm.
that we dealt with in high school, and you noticed.
Not
You
all. I'm telling you.
hold on. Let
I
me
understand.
finish.
Go ahead. I respect
You
you.
know this for a fact. There was a lot of those kids in that high school that looked at those reality stars, them goddamn nasty ass rappers talking about pill popping, sexualizing
Until
women.
when?
Hold on. And they internalize that stuff. That's what the life they was that's what they were supposed to be doing.
Hmm.
And that's how they was acting in high school. You can't deny that.
I can't. But guess what happened whenever they brought that to you and to me? What happened when they told you about bullshit stuff that you know better than? What did you do? Did you just co-sign and agree? No, you set them straight. You told them what reality was versus what this bullshit is, correct?
I don't mean they
Excuse me.
change their life
Excuse
around.
me. You might not realize that, April. I mean, Abby. But sometimes just the mere mentioning to people changes the course of their thinking in their lives. Want me to tell you how I know? Because that shit happened to me. Because I thought all the only world was what was in my box. Until people start inviting me out of my box and showing me different things and teaching me different things, I didn't really truly accept it or believe it until I heard it, I saw it, and stuff like that until I was exposed to it. Exposure can dispel a lot of negative shit because you get a chance to get the fuck out that environment and go learn on your own. Because just like you and I both agree, and our chat chat folks agree, people have taught us a lot of misinformation. and they give us a lot of misinformation through a lot of different venues. But when we have people in our lives that put us on the right path to, self-discovery, understanding, questioning, and all that kind of stuff, that's the change agent. That's the change agent. And you can create a change agent just by one fucking thing, one instance. I know it for a fact.
And this is why we keep dealing with these goddamn kids.
Yeah, because they are fucking amazing. They are amazing to me. I'm talking about the time. I mean, we approaching 2 hours and 30 minutes.
I wanted y'all to hear what he had to say about but I couldn't hear it because of because I could hear. I don't know what's going on with our technology. There's a part where he talks about abortion, and I really want y'all to hear that, or maybe I should just goddamn paraphrase it. So, but I don't feel like I'm equipped enough to par. I could have looked it up myself. Can you play a video or something so I can look it up? Maybe. Because I don't.
Save it for you in mastermind because we're approaching almost 2 hours. So any substantive talking about it probably won't get to it today. I'm saying you might want to just table it and pin it and be back with mastermind so y'all both can. I'm just saying so y'all both can go into it a little bit more. You introduced it to them.
To their voter registration right there. And then if they've already registered, then the pixels can tell you that, and then it should be taking you in of his running mate, Melina Abdullah. And so I don't.
I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna look on live.
No
Fuck it, I'm going live.
There's no chainmail. Neighbors, that wear MAGA hats. This is wild. I mean, Dr. Jill is 73 years old. She did not want to.
Yours? To say about abortion because he's a Muslim. So I really wanted you guys to hear that so you could really, that's a big subject for this election, but I can't find it and I apologize profusely. But I can try to paraphrase. Basically, what he's saying is that in Islam, they don't believe a child is born until conception. So everything that happens before conception is between the woman and her doctor. But a lot of people don't realize that about Muslims. Like they assume, there's like this scare of Sharia law. I don't know. It's getting late, so I would encourage you to watch this and find that for yourselves. I apologize that I couldn't find it. We talked too goddamn much. Is there anything else in the chat that we should go through before we leave? Or they having their own conversation, which is good. I love that. I love that for you to have your own conversation in the chat. And we apologize for our technical. I don't know why this happens with me and you. No, it usually only happens on your show. Now it happened on this show. That's weird. We're gonna have to figure this shit out. Please and thank you. So, yeah. Epigenetics. I noticed in Nahilo with his eugenetics, he be on that shit. Eugenetics. I already know. He done brought that shit up. I already know he done brought that shit up.
Cornell West, my dear brother, right now.
Yeah,
If
and we love
everybody,
to be clear about
What you doing? Playing
win here in 2024, I am implicitly
you gonna
putting
play
my hat in the
chats?
ring for the 2028 nomination of the Green Party. And who is
Oh.
better positioned? I mean, Dr. Jill is 73 years old. She did not.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm fucking this up. Okay. So we're gonna go because we've been here too long and we love you and we want you to come back. We're gonna figure this technical stuff out. We have to. I think we might need to be in two separate rooms.
That's not the deal. We just have to learn how to keep going.
Well, we'll figure it out. All right. So you ready to head out? Okay. So shout out to Mastermind Hour who could not even be here, but you are here in spirit.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Naila.
Thank you for all those people who showed up to hang out with us. Come back tomorrow for Black Life. You want to show it Black Life?
Sure.
We got to figure out this technical stuff for tomorrow.
Yeah, we definitely do. Maybe a little bit longer.
Hit. Okay. There you go. I'll make it big. Yeah. Yep. Of course. Oh, like this. My bad.
It's pretty much tomorrow on Black Life. We're going to be talking about contaminated hypocrisy. I don't know if you guys are in tune with the Black social media, but there has been some quarrels between Boosie and his daughter Ivy, and it spilled over into social media, and it's created a great discussion topic. Boosie's used words like contaminated to describe her lifestyle, and I definitely would like to talk about that and explore it a little bit. I also want to talk about the deep dive that Candace Owens has conducted on Kamala Harris's family. And I mean, that was very interesting to hear, as well as the boot vibes. We're going to give you some new music from the boot. Hopefully, we can have something good that you haven't heard of before and pique your interest. This will all be live Tuesday at 5 on Abby Do, Abby Don't on YouTube and Rumble. I appreciate you guys' support. Thank y'all for tuning in today. We greatly appreciate your support and your patience through our technical difficulties. We working through it, and we working it through it with you. So let's keep on doing what it do, what Abby do. All right, Abdu, I appreciate your opportunity for letting me kick this positive vibe with you. I appreciate you helping me learn and grow. And thank you for sharing what all you know.
It's all love. Whew, that was hard to get through because I don't know what was going on, but we're going to figure it out next week.
Peace with you, mastermind. Don't forget about 10 rabbits on Wednesday.
And noteworthy on Thursday.
About a boom, bada bang.
Bada boom, bada bang.